Vic, I think 23 putts today. I mean, what did you do to your putter last night that allowed you to come out and put together a round like this on the greens?
Yeah, I didn't know it was that few. I knew I putted well, but I didn't know it was 23. I felt like I putted good yesterday. My speed was maybe a little bit off, and I still feel like I can improve on that a little bit, even after today. But I just really saw the lines really well, and able to start it online. And it's sometimes when you see a couple go in early, it's easy to keep that feel going throughout the day.
17. How huge was it to be able to birdie? I mean, that's like a 3-shot swing with the lead right there.
Yeah, no, that's a tough hole. Obviously, a lot of things can happen, and it was a perfect number for my 5-iron. I hit it really well and trickled up there to 10 feet. So that was a nice way to kind of get into 18, and then obviously starting the front 9. So try to hit more of those shots.
Well, was that maybe the shot of the day that kind of you would remember from this round, which was pretty memorable round? I'm sure you had.
Yeah, no, that was certainly one of the highlights. A couple of key points was kind of I hit a really bad shot on 15 off the tee. And ended up in the bunker. I hit a really nice 7-iron, just pin high left, and made that putt. So that was a big hole. Obviously 17, but I'll say it was also a nice little birdie on 4 after hitting it in the right rough and then laying up in the left rough and making birdie from there. And then obviously the par save on the last. So I was out of position a couple times, but I was able to make the best out of it.
I'm doing a story on the Player Impact Program just started. What do you think about that, and should on-course performance have anything to do with it?
I haven't really given it too much thought, to be honest with you. I mean, I'd say it's a good thing that the players that are getting talked about the most are getting rewarded for it. I think that's a good incentive, but I really haven't given it too much thought whether or not that money should be put into on-course performances, but I don't really think about it too much.
Thank you.
Are you superstitious at all? Do you have any superstitions that you do throughout the week?
No.
None at all. So the putter is not sleeping next to you tonight.
No, I have like one thing which is just what I've always done. Like I always have my marker in my left pocket. Because when I was a kid, I would put it in my right pocket, but I was also put my glove in the right pocket. So when I would pull out my glove, the coin would fall off. So even though now I keep it in my back pocket, I always have it in the left pocket. But
what's your marker?
It's just a quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened on 13? I mean, everything else looked like it was really good, and then 13 reached up and grabbed you. Were you in the rough off the tee and had to make a different kind of shot?
13?
Yeah.
Yeah. That I wanted to kind of lay back a little bit, so I hit a 4-iron off the tee, and I just pushed it, and it ended up in the side slope in the first cut. So it wasn't that bad, but at the same time, I had to hit an 8-iron from there to back right pin, and obviously the downslope is going to pull it left, but it's pretty uncomfortable aiming in the water on the right, trusting it. So that was one of the few poor swings of the day.
So you were going for safety with that shot?
I guess I should have hit a 9 now, just looking back at it, because I missed it left, and I had no shot from there. If I would have hit the same shot with a 9-iron, at least I would have had a little angle going up the green. So I guess there wasn't too much safety in that shot.
Thank you.
Viktor, when you think back to what happened to you here last year on the weekend, what would you have done differently?
Kind of try to forget the weekend here last year. I played really well the first 2 days. Very similar to kind of how I played so far this year, but the course just gets harder and harder every single day, and it started blowing. And a few too many bad swings, and I ended up in bad spots and just didn't really take my medicine. I kind of compounded the errors instead of playing smart and just taking the bogey when you're out of position.
Was that an important learning experience for you?
Yeah, I will say so, because this week really drained me out until or before the next week at the Players, and didn't really have my mind right for that week either. So yeah, it hurt me a little bit, but at the same time, I felt like I learned a lot.
As a really good ball striker, last year notwithstanding, if you know it gets tougher here this weekend, gets a little drier, doesn't that play right into a great ball striker?
I would kind of say the opposite, to be honest with you. Obviously, if you hit fairways and greens, it's always going to help, but I think the firmer the course gets, it means that a lot of good shots that you hit, they land on the green, they roll over the green, and now I got a chip the same as the other guy's got a chip. So I would say there's a balance.
Right.
You know, if it's hard, ball strikers get an advantage, but if it's too hard, it just becomes a scrambling competition. So yeah, we'll see how hard it ends up getting.
Got time for one more in English, and then we're going to switch over to Norwegian.
How often in the States do fans call out something like, hey, my grandmother's from Norway, or how often do you hear it? Like every day, every other day?
I heard one this morning, actually. Yeah, it happens quite a bit. I mean, there's a lot of Norwegian ancestry here in the States, so yeah, I do hear it quite a bit.
Did they say anything funny, or what did they say?
Normally not, no.
No, I mean, was the one today funny? Or interesting?
No, he just said that I have a couple of relatives from Asker, Norway, which is pretty close to where I grew up, so.
What was your response?
I just said cool.
6 under I dag, knallrunde. Kan du gi en kjapp oppsummering? Hva var det som funket bra for deg I dag?
Ja, nei, det var en fin start, selvfølgelig, å gjøre birdie på hull 10 og hull 12. Godt å se liksom putte går I tidlig, og da man jo ganske komfortabel videre I runden. Jeg slo veldig mange bra slag og satte opp veldig mange birdie-muligheter, men samtidig så slo jeg noen dårlige slag også som jeg klarte å redde meg veldig bra inn på både nærspill og putting.
Spesielt deilig med den på 18, tenker jeg.
Ja, det var nice den. Det var kanskje det dårligste utslaget hele uka den på hull 18, og ja, det en veldig fin par. Det sånne som holder deg inn I turneringen.
Det ble jo vanligvis hardere og raskere I helga. På den turneringen her I fjor så var det jo en ganske dårlig opplevelse etter du lå bra an der også. Hva har du lært av det, og hva blir gameplanen I helga denne gang?
Ja, det jo I hvert fall, nå jeg I hvert fall klar over at det kommer til å skje. Så om jeg ikke får den beste starten da, så det liksom, ja, det jo kjipt, fordi det jo en bane som det vanskelig å få alle feilene tilbake da. Det vanskelig å bare gjøre masse birdies kommende inn. Men det var det jeg prøvde å gjøre I fjor etter en sånn start, og nå må man bare ta medisinen og spille smart og bare akseptere at man har slått et par dårlige slag og gjort et par bogies, og så ikke gjøre det verre.
Takk skal du ha.
Ja.